Good morning, Internet fans. Ryan Perry here, Simple Biz Support. Today is Thursday the 28th, therefore it is Internet Marketing Thursday. And as usual, I have the wonderfully talented Virginie Dorn with a Business Website Center in Petaluma. Good morning, Virginie.
Good morning and happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday to you too. We are going to be talking about food today. We're going to be talking about hamburgers.
Well, hamburger icons, but yes.
Otherwise known as the collapsible menu. And for me, this is like a sure sign. Was it last year, maybe late 14, we started seeing it on desktop versions. So those people that don't know, the collapsible or the hamburger menu is the little three icons on your mobile device that indicates that, hey, here's the menu. But then I started seeing them on desktop design, and I was like, wow, that's a sure indication that mobile design is really pushing to the forefront of web design, because now we're seeing it on desktop.
You're so absolutely correct. Yes, so mobile responsiveness or mobile design for smartphones and tablets is so important to the market, but now it's affecting the design on desktop instead of the other way around. So that's interesting. And truly about that trend, it is continuing to gain popularity. But one thing I want to make clear, it is not right for every type of industry or type of target audience. So today, because it's easier to explain with screenshots, I will be sharing my screen so we can see various samples on how it was done right and how it was appropriate for this individual companies. But just keep in mind that even though it might look good, it might not be the right option for you. So you should talk to you, Ryan, or myself to see if it's the best option for your website.
Yeah, and I think, you know, the biggest issue is how accepting the new technology is on desktop. How, you know, there's always that conversion process of people getting used to new technology or new design. And the question is, how quickly do they recognize it and go, oh, okay, here's the little menu? Because essentially when you have the, we have three options, and I know you're going to get into this, but you have the straight collapsible menu, which is all you see is the little three lines, and that's it. There is no upper menu. There's no footer menu. Well, there might be a footer menu. But then you have the normal desktop version menu, which is your bar at the cross with all the different menu items in there. And then you're also going to show us a hybrid, which is going to incorporate both of them. And I think the biggest concern with people is that, well, if I put the collapsible menu on my website, are people going to see it? And how many people am I going to lose on my homepage?
Absolutely right. So again, it's all goes back to that target audience. You and I talk about almost every week. What is your target audience? How trendy are they? Do they keep up with the trends, or are they more like old school? If they are old school, this is not a good option for you because the trend is not there yet. It's not become a common trend. So what I'm going to show you is different hamburger icons, like Ryan calls it. As you can see, it's on the top right. That is the most popular location right now. Is if you click on it, so as you can see, it's very beautiful. It has dynamic effect, but it's highly visual for this website. So I'm on the home page. If I want to see the menu, I actually have to click on it here. And then I see different links to different pages. But again, if I don't see that little free bar icon here, I might miss that opportunity. So very cool, very clean design, as you can see. French website here. But let me show you another one also. So this is another type of icon, which we played a little bit with the design of it. This time it's in the center, which is not a bad location too, either the top right or the center. But again, you have to remember the person has to understand that this is where the menu is going to appear.
Yeah, and I find it's kind of interesting, instead of just being like a normal drop-down menu where the home screen still shows, it's almost like a whole new page in essence.
Yes, so another French website. Yes, I am French. As you can see, for the homepage, they had it in the center, but then they go back to the more standard location, which is the top right-hand corner. And then they go back here. All right, and it's back to the top right corner. So very kind of cool. I do like that website. Now, this is so right now I'm just talking about location because it's so tiny, you want to make sure it's easy to find. If you hide it in the bottom right corner, people might not see it. So typically top right over center. In that particular instance, they put it in the left side. So here's our hamburger icon. And here is your sub menu. When I go, and it remains on the left. So for you and I, Ryan, that's fairly easy to understand. This is the menu. I
think the biggest problem with it, though, is you really have to look for it. I mean, it's not just boom, okay, where do I go to get more information? It is, you got to look, I got to look. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, you could indicate it maybe this is the mobile responsive icon that everybody's used to. Maybe there's different ways you can put an arrow, maybe a different type of icon that is more indicative, and you have to click on that icon to have something happen. So again, top right here. Now, what might work, so if you're like excited about that new way of doing things, but you're not quite sure, you can do a hybrid. As you can see here, you have free menus, which are the three important sections of their website, but you still have the collapsible icon, which gives you more menus to choose from. So that is a very good option. So people then want to be ahead of a trend, but they want to be careful at the same time. So product designers value, and then you collapsible. I think this is the best option. If you have doubts if it's right for you, but you want to be trendy, do half and half.
Yeah, and I think this is, I'm getting feedback. If you could turn your volume down just a little bit. I think this is where getting a heat map set up would probably be a really smart idea, and see what people are clicking on, especially if you have just a straight collapsible menu. The one that was off to the left, beautiful, imagery and those type of things. And I can understand I'm assuming that they didn't want to mess with the imagery by having a large menu across the top. But if we got to look for it, it's kind of that out of sight, out of mind attitude, is that, oh, okay, pretty homepage. I don't know what else to do now. I guess I'm just going to leave. And if somebody happened to see it, or again, like you said, knowing your target audience, if it's a younger audience, they know what to look for. Their eye is automatically going to filter in that menu. They may see it right away because they've been trained. Older audience, people that work on desktops a lot, haven't been trained to use that collapsible hamburger menu, and therefore they may not know to look on it. You may be losing out on business. So I'd be curious to see a heat map, and if people just randomly clicked all over the place trying to take an action.
Yes, I like your idea to see where people are clicking, and then adjust your website accordingly. I do believe the hybrid is the best option moving forward this year. Once the collapsible menu becomes a normal item on desktop version, and everybody even use the internet is used to seeing it and they understand how they work, then you can go to a full collapsible menu. But for the time being, unless your industry is to be ahead of a trend, just be safe and do something like what this beautiful website has done. It works really well. Again, and people can go to the products directly. The other thing I like about it is people talk about it, especially if you're selling a product, if you're literally selling products online, you have an e-commerce store, is that the least amount of barriers that you present your consumer, the more products they will buy. And so if I have to go to a menu, if I have to click on a menu just to get to a menu so I can click where I want to go, you've just added an additional step, which is a barrier at that point. So I like that, the fact that they had the little, hey, we're going to be trendy, let's put the collapsible menu. But by the way, here's the 3 key areas we know you want to see. You can just immediately go to that. Is a very smart idea in my opinion. Yes, now they've done it well. The whole website is beautifully done and very easy to navigate, even though it's using partly partially a collapsible menu. As you can see, when I clicked on products, really nice, the way they categorize their products. Just very, very well done. I'm totally impressed. I love that website. But again, the hybrid is what I'll be recommending to my clients from now on until the trend has become the norm.
Right. And I've actually seen, and I forget who it is because it's been a while now, but I've actually seen a couple of websites where they went to the straight hamburger collapsible menu and then they came back. And I don't know if they went to the regular conventional menu for desktop design or if they did like the hybrid idea. But I'm sure their analytics told them real quickly that, being ahead of the trend, sometimes you pay the price.
Yes. My rule of thumb is if you have to actually write something next to the collapsible icons, like please click here to see the menu, then it's a clear indication when your target audience is not ready for it. Or if you have to put a bunch of arrows pointing to that little icon or having flash different colors, yes, no, that's not right for you. Go back to standard menus, again, until the trend becomes the norm. And there are other ways you can do if you want more of a design and the collapsible menu is not quite for you. You can always minimize your menu and put it at the very bottom like they have done here. Again, it doesn't impede on the visual, which is very important to that particular website. It is not a collapsible menu, of course, but it's another option if that's why you're considering the collapsible menu, is because of the visual impact. Just bring the menu to the very bottom at the very, on the home page, and then you can go back to a more standardized page.
All right, very nice. So those are a couple of different ways of handling the menu on your desktop. Now, obviously, regardless of how your desktop is, once you go mobile, you're going to go to the collapsible menu because that's pretty much standard. Most everybody's using that these days and people are used to it. And the reason why I think it works on a mobile device is that your screen is so much smaller, so that menu sticks out quite a bit, where when you have a lot of real estate and you've got a little itty bitty menu icon, it just kind of disappears in the background.
Yeah, so we always talk about mobile devices like smartphones, but on tablets like your iPad, until very recently, we just put a regular menu nav bar, fully developed. But now the collapsible menus on the tablets, that's something that people expect. So that's okay to have those on your iPads type of tablets. That will not be too risky. It's just the desktop version we've been talking about today about, do you want to do collapsible, full menu, or hybrid? Again, a hybrid, I think, as of right now, is your best option.
Right. Okay, perfect. Unless you have something else to add, I think we've covered everything.
Yes, I'm looking forward to see what the trends take us, see if it becomes a norm or if it's going to be like one of those haircuts and just won't come back.
Well, you mean the 80s will never come back as far as hairstyle? It'll be depressing.
Hopefully not.
All right, everybody. Well, that's it for today's show. Virginie, as always, I appreciate the time and energy that you put into it. We always love seeing some of your web design. I'm not sure how many of those were yours, but you always do a beautiful job for your clients and keeping them informed of what the current trends are and what the best use of current trends, which I think is really important.
Well, it is my pleasure, and you'll have a great rest of your week.
All right, everybody, that's it for today's show. We will see you here next Thursday, same time, same place, same computer screen for another episode of Internet Marketing Thursday. Take care.